everybody.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Liam.
Today we are doing something a little bit different. We're doing a review. This is the first time that both Liam and I will be here to do a review.
This is going to be one of our longest videos, I feel. And in case you're wondering, why do we have Miles playing? Well, A, we got 100% this game, and B, we need something good to counteract the bad in Spider-Man terms.
So,
with great power comes great vulnerability.
So, I think a good way to start this off would just be to tell them, Liam, what show we're going.
Well, you guys see the title. We know what we're talking about. We're talking about Marvel's Spider-Man 2017, 18? I forget exactly. I think it's like 2018.
2018 or 2017?
2017 or 18 show, around that era, show that came out after the events of Ultimate Spider-Man, and tried to be something different and kind of just existed. I just find it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like... I think the first thing that we should start with is
my first. We have like notes and everything, so we have everything all set.
Probably the first episode. I have to say that episode 1 kind of doesn't really get you off to like the best of a start. For one, I think when he's in his costume, he's too lanky. His suit, he's too long.
So you talk about like the actual animation look. Let's just get that out of the way. Animation of the show. Like at first, I didn't think it was all that bad. Like considering I've seen Titanic, The Legend Goes On, Ratatouille. But then I actually realized, oh wait, I forgot. There's actually good animated shows, and like literally, I just watched Rise of TMNT, and that show looks so good compared to this, and came out in like the same like year.
Right.
So how the hell did that show come out looking so bad?
I guess my question to you, Liam, is. Based, like, what do you think of his suit?
Alright, firstly, the suit, it is passable. I don't think it looks amazing, but I think it's a passable design for the suit.
So, I guess, do you like the origin of how, like, Uncle Ben gets...
So we actually don't have Uncle Ben in the first episode, which is surprising.
Yeah, it's like, kind of...
That's like one of my notes. Yeah.
Do you like how I guess, because... Every Spider-Man story has to have Peter wrestling, and then he has to make the wrong choice that then turns him into Spider-Man.
I did like the fact that they actually had Bonesaw again, rather than just having a nameless wrestler. It was actually Bonesaw, which was cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. First thing I'm going to say is that I do like the little bit of foreshadowing, like the fact that Jacko was in the first episode as a human.
Yeah.
It's like a foreshadowing of who like is the mastermind behind everything.
Yeah, and I mean he's probably one of the most interesting parts of the show. I think still talking about the first episode. I don't know about you, Liam, but he mentions science.
Oh hell yeah! So the first episode, because I've never seen it, is that he bases the whole getting his fire powers thing based off the scientific theorem, which I mean it's a cute idea on paper, but oi, why the hell would you ever do that? It's just such a just a kind of a stupid way of doing it. Like the thing is like if he kept it to himself, it would be okay, but then he goes ahead online. He was like. On the wrestling thing, which by the way, cameraman Stan Lee, really cool.
Yeah,
that was a cool cameo.
I was happy to see him.
Yeah, but like he goes on talking like multiple minutes, actually multiple seconds about the scientific theory about everything on camera in a wrestling ring.
Yeah, I mean,
like, what the fudge?
I mean, it's not as bad as like Ultimate, where they would take like 2 to 3 minutes out of each of the episodes.
Like you could like say, yeah, you could like in Ultimate Spider, where like they spend like 2 minutes of the entire episode. Goodbye, good job, Drummond. 2 minutes of every episode just talking about just like doing stupid gags on the side. Also, he didn't need to shut up in the first episode. I literally wrote twice, "Shut up, Peter."
Which is something that when you're talking about your main character, you should not have to say.
So the question is, why did he make the webs?
Yeah, and
like why is it that like the first thing he does when he gets fire powers is like, oh cool, webs?
And also, I just wanted to point out, I have written here, those are not web shooters. Like what he is using are not web shooters. I don't know what he was using, but I did like, I have to say, that it's, accurate to the, original comics. He wanted to use his powers for fame.
Yeah, well, no, not really, because, I mean, that's like the story of every Starman, to be fair.
True.
Yeah.
But I did like that they kind of kept it close to, like, what it actually was, in fairness.
And the final thing I have about this episode is that the first episode has, the very end, is that he studies the trophy that he got before Uncle Ben dies. No, I remember. He studies the trophy and says like along the lines like the bullet that shot Uncle Ben. It's like a weird way of like doing it, like connecting it all.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeet.
So I think my favorite my thing was here just to end episode 1 was that there's just too much science. So, what do you have to say starting with
episode 2?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is like the big line that always made me angry when I watched it for the first time. Is that like there's like a big there's like a bank heist, and it's actually not even a bank heist, it's a tech heist. And the police officer says, "What do these guys want this technology?" And then the RP officer says, "Don't you know? Science is a new currency." It's like the most stupidest. It's like the stupidest line ever, because that feels like so pandering towards the whole science mantra.
There's too much of a reliance on science.
Granted, they tone it down a lot in later episodes to an extent.
True, but I think episode 2 is really kind of starting to show exactly what the problem is. I think is that Peter relies too heavily on science.
Oh, that's not my big problem.
No,
like I mean, at the end of the day, like half the fun about Starman is he's relying on science. But anyway, so the biggest takeaway from the first like couple minutes is that there's like a flashback scene with Uncle Ben, and what happens is that Peter's like, I know science, and I'm so sad, and Uncle Ben goes like, well son, just remember, here's an equation I know, and it's great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah,
and it's like the weirdest way of doing it. Like it's a cutish way of doing it, but still I think it's kind of on the nose.
And also, Bernie Sanders is in episode 2
as the cabbie driver for Harry Osborn. Like they call it Bernie too, so like I just really think it's Bernie. Everyone just thinks it's Bernie Sanders.
And there was a reference in episode 2 to Miles.
No, he literally is, and he literally is in the episode.
Oh, right. Sorry.
What did you write down for notes?
I just put down Miles.
So one thing I do like is that they do like play into like the Spider-Man mythos by having all these characters from the old Spider-Man cartoons come in.
Yeah.
Like obviously you have the mainstays, Gwen, Flash, and you have them of course.
Liz was also there.
For like episode, yeah. Anya was kind of a weird deep cut, but I kind of liked it.
I don't mind her actually.
She was a little bit annoying in the first episode, but she got her grip. She was okay.
She's also played by the chick who played Liz Allen on the
which is a really weird thing considering Liz Allen is on the show.
Right.
Maybe she should not do the space. Yeah. Vulture.
What do you want to say about Vulture?
Alright, let's just take it out of the way. His design looks so stupid. Like, out of all like the tech-based Vulture looks that we've seen, it's definitely the stupidest looking one. Also, happened like the first, they took actually, I noticed that like they actually got rid of it. Like the first couple episodes, whenever he like does like the Vulture screech, he actually screams with it.
Does he really?
Yeah. Which is like really. So like it's like super annoying.
Are we still on episode 2?
Yeah.
Because there's just one more thing that like I have to say. So there is a weird dichotomy here because
dichotomy.
Yeah, Harry is actually a good character, and like he's like a really good friend, but then he hates Spider-Man, which is like really weird. Yeah,
I will just like say this out of the gate is I think the whole Harry, Peter, Spider-Man thing, it's actually kind of interesting. It's fun to watch.
Right. And
it's the best thing the show has, honestly.
Yeah, and so that's all I have to say in terms of episode 2, but...
I have one more thing to say.
Okay, and then I will start with episode 3.
I just want to say, it's weird that Vulture, like, he can, like, they're like, it's like the big Horizon, like, high thing, like, there's like the main setting of the episode, or like, the rest of the series, actually. And every first episode, Vulture must kidnap someone, huh?
So, I think when we started to watch episode 3, the start of my biggest takeaway was that Otto is Otto was a professor at, Horizon High, and he's also short as hell.
Yeah, well, I mean, short as hell is good. There's a reason why he's short as hell.
Right.
But, I mean, like, I don't actually mind the whole remaking... Hiccups. I don't mind making, like, characters, like, change their professions. I don't think that's a really bad idea, honestly.
I don't know.
But, yeah, so... Episode 3, let's see. And I do like the fact that, like, throughout the series, we do see Harry, like, working on the Goblin tech, which is a cool concept.
There is another thing I want.
I wrote down Otto Small Kid, haha.
There is another thing I want to say, and I want you to tell me if you actually, like, agree with me. When his, quips are actually not that bad when they're not based on science.
Yeah. Like, they're good clips when they're not based on science. The problem is that most of them are based on science.
But, do you guys remember the days when, like, Spider-Man would, like, disable a bomb?
Oh, that's not yet. That's not here yet. That's not yet.
Sorry.
But for third episode as Scorpion, he shows up for 2 episodes of the 26th, and he looks weird. But I mean, it's like the most okayest design I could probably say about the show. He looks good, passable.
A lot of the villains look weird and nervous.
Okay, there's like another thing on the animation. So firstly, the Spider Slayer makes his debut here, which you're going to be seeing a lot of them in this show. I didn't really write any of them down, but they do show up a lot. And the thing is about them is that they're like 3D models or something like that, so like they look superimposed on like the background. So it looks really weird on the animation department. And then to add to that, the textures in the background are like, what I wrote down is that they're really low texture.
Yeah,
that's another thing. It's like all the backgrounds look super weird.
And also, the main suit gets like revealed here, and I don't know. I think there's too much blue.
That's your big thing. Is that there's too much blue.
Well, because there used to be like a balance of like red and like also blue. There's just too much blue in it. What else do you have to say for episode 3? Not really a whole lot happened, honestly.
Yeah, like it was just really like a setup episode because this is when we get into the main part of the show that I have like a based idea on. The fact that Spider-Man gets help from all the students of Horizon High. So like, all of them are gonna become Spider people later. That we already know. The problem comes with the fact that the problem comes with the fact that, like, even before they get Spider powers, they are actively doing more work than Spider-Man in some episodes.
Right. Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, not the worst idea on paper, but it gets kinda... It gets like how like they can like pretty much like break an entire situation by using just regular hand-to-home stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the Spider team, but it's kind of just not really.
Especially since like it's only the very first episodes, which the whole point is that Peter's like starting off like alone in the first couple episodes.
Right.
So it kind of kills some of the point.
So is there anything else that you want to say about episode 3, or can we move on to episode 4?
No, there's nothing much. Like, not a lot happens in the first couple episodes.
Right.
But episode 4 begins with the best part about the show. By none, Josh Keaton is Norman Osborn. Why they get him as Norman Osborn, not Spider-Man? Damn it.
Well, they wanted a younger Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's something that, like, always gets me. The fact that, like, Josh Keaton's, like, right there.
And they don't never have him cast as Spider-Man. Like, here's the thing, like, okay, that's like a different topic, but Spider-Man PS4, they have Josh Keaton there as Electro, and they could have had him as Spider-Man.
Yeah, although Yuri does do a great job.
Yeah, like, no clock against him. Anyway, so this is the first, like, real introduction of Jackal.
Yeah, and also, what do you think of Oz Academy?
Oz Academy. So I know, like, this is like a battle between two schools thing that they were trying to set up with the show. Oz Academy's there, it's fine. We all know the real reason why it's there because Norman wants to have his tight grip on Harry. It's a cool idea. It's like an interesting idea to see like a school made by, of all people, Norman Osborn.
There was also someone got Harry suspended from, you know, Horizon.
Because it was going there at first.
Yeah. And Norman wanted to start his own school, basically, of supervillains.
Well, that's what everyone knows it's gonna be.
Right.
They don't know. Yeah. So, but speaking of, guess who makes this big debut? Shocker. And guess what? You talk about villain designs. Guess what? Shocker is 2 people.
Yes. Shocker is 2 people.
Yep.
And they fight in a giant Spider-Man 2-esque arena to, you know, end the show.
Jackal gets his hands on both of the pieces, and then he attacks Spider-Man and stuff like that. Like, it's a weird episode because like there's like multiple things going on at once. Let's see.
Why? So something that I wanted to comment on. Why is Spider-Man's suit telling him what to do? Like he most of the time gets by on his own ingenuity.
Yeah.
Like, why is his suit like? Listen, he's not. You know, he's not Batman.
He's not Iron Man.
Right. Like, why is his suit telling him the best, like, course of action?
Yeah, like, it's like, really? He already has powers to do that for him. He should be able to make it himself.
Right.
Glenn explains stuff to Spider-Man 3 different times on this episode.
The same thing. The same thing 3 times.
Yeah. Marshmallow Spider-Man. It's like, for the finale, he wraps himself up in webs and looks like a giant marshmallow.
He does look like a giant marshmallow. You're damn right. But that's all I have to say about, you know, episode 4.
Yep.
Do you have more?
Nope. Episode 5. Guess what? Take a shot every time I'm going to say this. A villain breaks into Horizon High. That happened in the first episode, but it happens again in the 5th episode.
Did you like Black Cat's design?
Oh, right, Black Cat. Black Cat actually had a pretty okay design in my opinion. It was a different take on like the original look. I mean, I know like the main reason why is because they wanted to differentiate her from like the other designs that she had.
Right. Yeah. I also.
This is when the symbiote makes his debut.
That, but also there was that scene where like Peter was like getting, you know, practically barbecued, and it was like really funny.
Oh.
And you know, I just have written here barbecue Spidey, and then no lie, Peter said on fleek in this episode.
On fleek, we both wrote that down.
Which is something that bothers me, the fact that Peter said that.
There's like a small gag at the very beginning where Peter's cleaning up cleaning up the hallway and he goes upside down with the mop, which is like physically that's impossible, but on a comedy standpoint that's actually kind of funny.
Physically, it's impossible.
The symbiote makes its debut as a random substance, and it gets an attachment to Peter.
There was also
There
was also a reference to the Clone Saga.
Yeah. Also, Black Cat actually has powers in this version.
Yes. Since when does she give bad luck?
Yeah. I think the whole thing is that she has like the ability to make people think they have bad luck, so bad luck automatically happens.
Reminds me of a miraculous episode.
That's all you think about.
Yeah.
That's just miraculous.
Well, but like I'm saying, Black Cat was just like a jewel thief.
I mean, to be fair, she was an adult. Peter was a minor. They can't really do the whole romantic subplot.
I didn't want them to, but like, give something interesting. You know what I mean?
Oh, by the way, until the fact that like after the first time she breaks into Horizon, later time she like tries to break into something, she just walks in. That's all she does. She just walks in.
This was So I think he is like still solving things with, you know, science even up to episode 5.
Actually, this time actually, if I remember, like he actually like thinks on the fly for this one.
Does he?
Yeah. Yeah, so episode 6, I guess.
Episode 6, yeah, you can start with this one.
One more thing. Episode 5, there was a truck driver on episode. It was voiced by whoever voices Fred in Scooby-Doo. I forget his name.
Frank Welker?
Frank Welker. It was voiced by Frank Welker, I'm pretty sure.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, episode 6.
Rhino!
Alright, let's just get Rhino off the Horde.
Maybe we should put Rhino in. Maybe we should put like Rhino in. Rhino into the thumbnail.
Maybe. But my God, that Rhino design is so. Like, what can even be said about it?
Is it
so? Firstly, Alexei is a student in this show. Which I mean,
that's like okay. It's not
a bad idea.
Right.
So like he's a young guy, but what he does is basically all he does is he gets gray skin and he gets a Horde, and that's all that changes.
And he has hair on his horn.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the Rhino design. I arguably say it's the third worst Rhino design.
And also there's like, a Rhino virus. Like he hits people in the head. It's like, turn into rhinos.
No, that's in later episodes.
Kind of like how Jared, Leto.
That's in later episodes, Robin.
I was coming to a joke here. Kind of like how Jared, Leto would turn people into vampires by saying that it was, Morbin time.
Let's see.
Spider-Man got a dance scene here.
Dance Spider-Man.
And I really like Aunt May in the show.
Yeah, Aunt May's pretty good in the show.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't really show up that much, but she's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's all I got for episode 6.
Oh, episode 7. This is the one I just always like to point out for how crazy. This is like when the show goes from okay, it's a show to what the fuck is going on.
So why don't you say what you want to say?
All right. So firstly, Sandman. It's Sandman.
It's Sandman.
So basically, this is the first time where the Horizon students actually do something big. So they make a gun that kills Sandman or stops Sandman out of stuff from the carnival. How do you make a water gun that kills sand people using stuff from the carnival?
Right.
Granted, they brought stuff in from other stuff from Horizon, but still.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Flash. Listen to Flash. This is Flash's first main appearance, and he's pretty good in the show.
Yeah,
he's pretty good. Oh yeah, they can't figure out that the symbiote's alive, even though they see it multiple times move.
And then there was also a reference in this episode. They show the back of the Goblin's glider, and and they were being cheeky about it. They were saying that to make us be like, oh shit, look!
Oh, look at that! It's Harry, and he has goblin stuff. Oh yeah, Hammerhead's in this episode, and what the fudge happened to his head? I know it's supposed to be a hammerhead, but I think they're talking about the shark, not the actual tool.
And also, Hammerhead has a weird ass voice.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
And then there's some Sand Woman.
Actually, Sand Girl, I believe. That's what they call her.
So
basically, Sandman, Flint Marco, they do the whole thing about his daughter from Spider-Man 3, but the twist is that he's actually good and she's actually bad. Dun dun dun. Yeah, and the entire time she's going. The entire time when she confronts him, she's going, Dad, Dad. What the fuck is going on? For goodness sakes, how many times have to say the word Dad? I mean, to be fair, a lot of characters in the show just keep saying the word Dad.
Yeah, that's thrown around more than it was in the Flash season 7.
Okay. Let's see. Alright, this is when Black Suit makes its debut. So basically, Sand Woman, Sand Girl, I think? I mean, what's the technicality here? She basically kills, firstly, she kills Flint Marco. She kills her dad. I'm sorry, what the fuck? They just kill Marco, they don't show him alive, they just actually kill him.
Yeah.
And then secondly, so the black suit shows up as soon as Spider-Man was about to die, and he just completely gets super violent all of a sudden.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about the design on the black suit?
Oh yeah.
Or
it's okay.
No. Why are there white on the wrists?
Oh right, the white on the wrists.
There should not be white on the wrists. And also, the spider on there is too freaking big.
Yeah. Remember back when, like, in Spectacular Spider-Man, when they had, like, the spider get bigger and bigger over the course of the episodes to signify, like, the symbiote's getting more and more control?
That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about a good show?
Oh, I know what comes up next.
Oh god. Okay.
Emo Peter.
What are we on? Episode 8?
So, Black Suit Spider-Man's the show.
Oh,
he's not.
And also, for, you know, some reason, Peter, when he had, like, the black suit, he also had Tim's on.
And his voice he had, like, a voice modular.
But when he was in costume, he also had Tim's on, and there were white soles on the shoes of an alien outfit. Why?
So when Peter gets the black suit, he just becomes the biggest douchebag of all time.
I think worse than
Emo Peter.
Yeah.
Which is like both funny, but also really stupid, but it's like a fun type of stupid.
Like, he is just a flat-out dick to every person. Even to Aunt May, which is something that, like, never happens.
Also, AIM shows up for some reason.
Yeah.
So this show implies that, like, the greater Marvel universe exists in this world.
Oh, wait.
So like Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, they all show up in like separate episodes. So like the greater Marvel universe exists. So how in the world do you think like the big like cataclysmic events that happen in the show? How the heck did they get past it? Because like how did the Avengers not know about this in their own like main headquarters?
Well, we'll see that later. So, there was one quip in episode 8 that made me freaking die. Sorry to ruin your dreams, fellas. And like that was really, really funny.
Yeah.
And then also Vulture is a professor at, you know,
Oz Academy.
Yeah, which is like weird to me.
Yeah, that is a very weird
Looks like a robbery.
That's a very weird idea.
And there were 2 Vultures now.
Yeah. So like they have 2 different Vulture outfits, which is like really weird.
Right.
And that's like the main fight at the very final. That's like the final fight.
And then episode 9, which I believe is the Iron Man one.
So he takes off the suit at the very end of the episode. And Tony Stark shows up as Iron Man. Hooray! And we do see like the very beginning of like Doc Ock beginning. With Otto having the arms at the expo, because like there's like a big like science expo that Tony's hosting.
Episode 9 is probably one of the best ones, though.
Yeah. Based on the virtual fact that Flash shows up and he has a paper mache volcano. that's funny.
Flash wins the whole thing
because everything else gets destroyed because of Ghost.
Because of Ghost, but also because Peter goes into the black suit, becomes emo, once more,
and then takes it off afterward.
Yeah.
Because that's something new with him, like having to like deal with the fact that he keeps getting on and off the black suit. But he literally puts it on once, and then he doesn't, and then he never does it again. Also, Steve Harvey looks like the announcer. Well, the announcer looks like Steve Harvey. And Peter's a fanboy of Tony Stark, so we can't get rid of that stuff from the Marvel universe.
Yeah, they basically just turned him into like Tom Holland.
Yeah. Iron Man has the best design on the show.
Dude, Iron Man's outfit or his like suit is sick as shit.
Yeah, he has the best outfit on the show, bar none.
Right.
Which is really sad considering it looks pretty considering it only appears for one episode.
Episode 10, Miles becomes Spider-Man in this episode.
So this show like moves like at like a million miles per hour.
It does, doesn't it?
Because like Miles. Man, I have a lot of pickups today. Miles becomes Spider-Man in this episode, which, like Roman said, I mean, it's okay. It's like the guy who plays. It's the guy who plays Miles in the Spider-Verse and in the PS4 game. So like the good kid, he was pretty good at like playing Miles.
But this was before Miles was like a good character. Like I mean, he's fine on like the show, but this was before he got fleshed out. Like this when he was still just like a Peter Quill.
Yeah. Like I said, Miles was great. The whole like dad thing comes up again because Spider Slayer basically basically the former maker of the Spider Slayers and his son have a big fight with Miles and Spider-Man, and they're fighting each other while they're fighting the two Spider-Men, and the entire time the son's going, Dad, Dad, actually spit, damn.
No, but like he is like literally saying, Dad, Dad.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is the only time, I just realized, this is the only time Miles uses his electric powers.
Yeah.
This is the only time.
Whereas
He uses invisibility a lot, but he doesn't use his
he doesn't use his venom.
yeah.
And nothing happened. I don't even think they called it venom.
Yeah.
It was like called sun. It was called
electricity.
Sun.
My question is, how did he make the suit so quickly?
Yeah, right. Like, how long was Miles Spider-Man for before they gave him the suit? Maybe like a day?
Yeah, at most.
It took Peter in like every iteration at least like a month and a half.
Yeah, well, not like a month and a half, but like the show showed like it took like a week or so for him to make the suit in full. So Miles made it within a day. Also makes the web shooters in a day.
Yeah,
which is like really weird. Episode 11. This is funny story. This is the first episode of the show I watched. I watched it like I was at like a house and like there's like we're just watching Disney XD and it was like the thing on. So yeah, this is the first episode with Kraven live streaming his own hunt.
So actually, I did want to say I like the on-the-job training that Peter is giving to Miles, even though something that Liam and I both pointed out that Peter is still a rookie.
So like him training Miles feels very weird.
Yeah, because he's not an expert at it yet.
Yeah.
Whereas like in this game that Liam and I are playing now, Peter has been Spider-Man for like 9 years now. So like he knows what he's doing.
And I do like the fact that yeah. And I mean like I do like how Peter and Miles bounce off each other. And like they do have a good chemistry with each other, but like I will say like Peter gets better over the course of the episodes because he's like this way you realize we don't really talk about science that much, just talking about like the actual episode quality.
Right.
Because like we're not really talking about the science thing.
True.
They kind of like ignore that now. But
Kraven is a VTuber.
No, that's not a VTuber, Ramen.
Funk.
Kraven. Funk.
Kraven.
No VTuber.
Kraven.
He's a live streamer.
Is a live streamer.
Yep, and he hunts. He shows all his hunts, and because he's a live streamer, he has 4 pull-up breaks, and I think they're kind of cute. And I mean, the Kraven design's actually pretty okay in this show too.
Yeah, I mean, he's not terrible. It's just
it's better than Spectaculars.
That's the one flaw that Spectacular had.
Yeah.
But nah, so here's a legitimate question I have. How would the city allow Kraven to do that?
Well, he's being hired by Norman Osborn to hunt down Spider-Man.
Right, but then he's filming it.
Yeah.
Which then should like cops be like going after him for that?
I mean, they can't really. I'm not really sure. Let's see.
Oh, Hulk! Episode 12, baby.
Right.
There was a mention to Kurt.
Last thing, episode 11. Kraven. He has like a flying saucer thing. It looks like the Eggmobile from Sonic series. Like the same thing Eggman flies around in.
Yeah. Episode 12, man.
Episode 12. Werewolf and Hulk.
John Jameson's The Wolfman.
Yep.
Which was when he was back in the 70s.
Yep.
Before he turned into Colonel Jupiter.
Which I mean, I think Colonel Jupiter was a lot better.
So I don't know. I mean, Hulk. While I love him, he's not one of my favorites, and he's always been kind of just meh.
I do like the fact that like in this show, it's not just Hulk who's talking. It's actually there's Bruce Banner's there too.
Yeah,
like later shows, they really don't play up the whole Bruce Banner part of Hulk, and it kind of kills half the point of him having that second half.
Yeah. I mean, that is very, very true.
Can't believe I'm saying this.
I feel like. Wait, God. So, but like, I think the thing about like episode 12 that I actually did like here was that they did show Hulk's powers in like an actual accurate way. That was something that I said that I liked. And also, there are no teachers at a high school co-ed dance.
Yeah.
Why? That you leave a bunch of 14 and 15-year-old boys and girls alone, shit's gonna happen.
Yeah. You know for a fact drugs are gonna be sold there. Even now, you know what else could be happening there. But anyway, so halfway through the episode, Hulk gets infected with the werewolf stuff, so he becomes Werehulk, and he basically just becomes Furry Hulk. It's Furry Hulk.
Y'all gave the Werehulk shit from Sonic Unleashed, but I've not heard anyone say shit about Werehulk.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Furry Hulk. Which Hulk should never have fur. It was like really weird to see that.
It was very weird seeing a grown Hulk have fur. But I mean, like, it was a good, like, crossover episode. Never really much happened since, like, the actual plot.
So, I think, starting with episode 13, this is when we got Blizzard!
Alright, Blizzard.
This one of the more boring ones. This one of the more boring.
It's just a regular guy who steals Harry's technology to create ice, and then goes ahead and becomes Blizzard. Dun dun dun, and he tries to become the ruler of the city by naming himself Blizzard.
And doesn't he like freeze a little bit of like the city or something?
He freezes like half the city in like the Snow Age.
Yeah.
And in order to counteract it, Harry makes the Goblin Sword. Well, the Flame Sword, that's what they call it. I just call it the Goblin Sword.
Also,
if you're frozen solid in ice, like happens multiple times in this episode, you're dead.
Yeah.
Your body's gonna become Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
And also the fact that they have police snow speeders already like on the scene, that even though like it literally just happened, is super weird.
Oh shit! Episode 14, Venom. Venom looks weird.
Yeah.
He is extremely weird looking.
Like he's supposed to look bulkier than Spider-Man, but he looks like way too much bulkier.
I mean, the Spectacular one made it work because Venom also had length, whereas in this show, it's all just like bulk.
He's like width. He's like Kingpin in Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
except like he has like a normal shaped head.
Right. Yeah.
Great to remember that. And Flash is Venom in this show. For the first half of it, at least.
Which I don't mind. I wish there was a more of a clear type of a motivation for it.
So Venom in this show is like pure chaotic evil.
Yeah.
He just wants to destroy stuff. So basically what happens is that there's like a big football game, and that's our first appearance of MJ actually.
Yeah.
Where she's the school mascot. No, she's not like the actual school mascot. She's just dressed up as the school mascot.
Right.
So like later, like season 2, they do introduce MJ in like more full detail.
Really?
Which, by the way, I just want to say this right now. If this video gets, what is it, 10 likes?
We're aiming for 10 likes and or 100 views.
If it gets anywhere near that, we will do season 2. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Okay. So
also the fact that MJ, the mascot's a tiger, so MJ dressed as a literal tiger.
Yeah.
Go get him, tiger.
Oh, I just got that reference.
Yeah. And then basically the symbiote infects some of the football team, so they have to deal with 3 Venoms. And Flash and Peter team up, which is like a cool moment. Like throughout the episode, Peter's tutoring Flash. And like it's a cool episode. I kind of like it for like the Peter and Flash stuff.
Yeah, and I mean Flash is actually okay.
Yeah. As like it's one of the few characters on this show who doesn't like know all the science stuff. He's kind of tolerable.
Yeah. But that's all that I've got in terms of episode 14. Episode 15, I give a 0 out of 10. Oh shit, Leo just put the book that. Leo? Episode 15 is the Screwball episode. I think Liam's about to go on a rant about Screwball.
Alright, so Screwball stuff aside, episode is just a big message about social media. So the whole point about the episode is that Screwball, which by the way is Liz Allen in this version. I spell Cat, you're making this all a lot better. So basically, Screwball is doing stuff. It's like doing videos and stuff like that to get views, and because Spider-Man is in one of the videos, she gets a ton of views, and the whole thing is that she basically goes after Spider-Man just so she can get more views. And then halfway through the episode, Absorbing Man, which by the way, what the fuck is Absorbing Man doing there?
He's also just a rip-off of, Colossus as well.
Yeah. Absorbing Man shows up and starts wrecking stuff, so Screwball has a big moment of like, oh my gosh, I caused this, it's my mistake, and you know, that's, and she calls Spider-Man, and Spider-Man just like properly leaves her like he should.
And she also has a terrible catchphrase too.
Yes. You just got screwballed. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be something in a porn skit. Yeah, that's like my visceral hatred of the episode aside. Let's see if I actually. That's like all the stuff I didn't even write. I didn't even like go into my notes yet.
Leia didn't really write much.
Also, they make reference to Hawkeye for some reason.
Yeah. Weird.
See you next Wednesday.
Yeah, that's it. That's like literally everything I wrote down for episode.
Episode 16 is honestly not that much better. It has Crimson Dynamo,
like a D tier villain or like E tier.
And it made it into a show. Oh, and I also call her Communist Iron Man.
So the entire time I actually don't see her like real look because she's always in the suit. So all they touch she's Russian. All I think about is just Communist Iron Man.
Communist Iron Man.
Yeah, there you go.
We have to be in the politically correct age, Joe.
Actually, wouldn't it be Ironheart? Let's see. So this is like the first introduction of Doc Ock in full, even though it's like when he becomes like a. This is how he starts off. He starts off as a superhero.
And his motivations are kind of being fleshed out because I think his, project actually gets like shut down.
Yeah.
And this was when we kind of started to, figure out that he definitely knew that Peter was Spider-Man, and it was our first sign of Superior
Spider-Man. Season 2. Anyway, one more thing about episode 16 is that Crimson Dynamo is going after tech, and what she does is that she gets tech. You know what comes out? Pencil drones. Like literally, like speaking, they look like pencils, and that's like their big. That's like the big upgrade she gets.
I was laughing so hard.
Also, Max Modell, we didn't really talk about him much because like he's not really all that important in the show. So he's the one who shuts down Otto's plan, right? He's a hypocrite because he wanted to continue working on the symbiote to help like get him famous, get him famous. So he's a hypocrite for trying to shut down Otto.
I think Max is the villain.
Season 3, baby. Anyway, episode 17, Miles is back with. And he, Spider-Man, and Doc Ock all team up to take on Lizard. Yeah! So it's so weird having like a good version of Doc Ock.
Which is
I mean, this is like the episode where like he actually stopped being good. Not like in terms of like, I mean, was he actually ever good as a character in the first place on the show?
Oh. Has he ever been a good character ever?
I think he was really. I think in Spider-Man PS4 is a good example, like him being a good character.
Dr. Connors?
Oh, right, Dr. Connors, he looks like a surfer.
He's just like a surfer dude, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so let's see. Oh yeah, this is like a stupid this is like the most stupid in joke I've ever made. But basically, throughout for one of the episodes, like there's like a security guard fight between this and Spider-Man. And halfway through the fight, you can hear like a cow noise, right? So like, even though like it's supposed to be like for comical stuff, I always like to imagine like it was actually just like a Metal Gear, actually.
What?
So, the Metal Gear Solid.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You'll learn eventually. Anyway, so Otto's actually, this is when they realized he's only 19 years old.
Yeah. And there was a kaiju lizard.
Yeah. So Lizard becomes a kaiju because of Doc Ock. And it's like a really like big, like it's supposed to be like a big reveal, like, oh, you betrayed me, don't you, Spider-Man, not me.
Yeah, which is something that happens in like every show ever. Episode 18.
Oh yeah, they also have the web wings on the episode 17.
Yeah, which actually kind of made it cool. Episode 18, I didn't write that much. Not really a whole lot happened, but the Oscorp Commandos were
Spider-Man things.
AKA the Sinister Five.
Stop. The Sinister Five. Stop. The Sinister Five.
You ever call when he was making a bus?
Are
One time, he was taking in a felon who'd skip bail. The guy
Yeah.
wriggled out of his cup.
So basically, episode 18 is being like a big like introductory episode with
I was on the phone for the whole thing.
No way.
which is like Peter seeing how like Oz Academy works, and basically Rhino attacks once again with like multiple rhinos instead of just one. It's like super weird. It's like Jackal chose Alexi again to be the Rhino subject. Poor son of a bitch, like poor Alexi, he gets like turned into Rhino like 4 different times throughout the entire season.
fast.
Yeah. Because I'm encountering Spider Island.
So, episode 19, I gave it a 10 out of 10 because Bernie's back in it. Bernie. And also, apparently there was a whole lot of Jackal clones.
Yeah, so basically there's like it's like a big mystery episode, like who the Jackal is and what he's planning, and basically there's a facility, and the big like action scene is basically the Sinister Five show up. Yes, I'm calling them five. I don't care. To go ahead and actually help Spider-Man out in order to fight the Jackal clones. It's like a weird moment, but then like halfway through, Otto takes control of them with mind control devices in order to become the Sinister Five.
They are the Sinister Six.
They're not yet. They gotta get Spider-Man first.
Right, yeah.
And then of course, everyone thinks that Norman's about to die, but he doesn't.
And in episode 20, we start the Spider Island arc.
Oh, fudge. I wrote a whole bunch of stuff down.
Okay,
alright. So firstly, let's start with first episode 20 with the stealth suit. So this is actually like a big thing that like I was really wondering. So like I was implied it to be that it was Norman inside the stealth suit, right? It was him inside the suit, and I think that like as we see later on in the episode, is that he's trying to plant like an antidote so that all the so that everyone doesn't turn into like spider monsters, right?
Right, yeah.
Which we see later on actually happens. So he could just go ahead and say, "Hey, it's me. I'm Norman Osborn. I'm trying to save all your butts, everybody."
Right.
Like he's still a dick at the end of the day, but he is trying to actually save the city.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem that way. And also Gwen becomes like
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
And the fact that like so we this is like the first instance of the spider virus, right? And the thing about it is that everyone who gets it automatically has organic webs.
And so
we just call it the Toby virus.
Because we had to. And
then at the very end of the episode, like there's like a big reveal where Harry finds out that Peter's Spider-Man, and then everyone starts shooting spider webs. It's like everyone's Spider-Man.
And then I just gotta say that episode 21's a filler episode. It's just got Crossbones and it's got like Black Widow in it.
Oh, this is when the big thing comes up. This is when so basically just like a main way. It's like a way to show like how the world is with like how New York City is with the spider virus. And yeah, so they choose of all things, they choose to have a Black Widow crossover episode to do it with the whole like, oh, this is how the world is now with spider people.
Right.
Which is like, really? You could have done like a cool idea of like having like Peter like go for like normal crime and stuff like that with spider people. Instead you just relegate it to having Hydra of all people show up and start using it.
Yeah, why?
Also the fact that Black Widow gets spider powers, so she's a real Black Widow. Yeah, we're blazing through this.
We are, yeah. Episode 22, Kraven is, back in here. And this is when you really start to see the Toby virus taking hold of the city.
Basically,
now people are actually starting to turn into spiders.
No, that's episode 23.
Oh, okay.
Episode 22 is like has Gwen turn into a monster and has Norman turn into a monster. So yeah, he's still alive.
Yes. Norman did not die.
And the spiders look more like ticks than anything else.
Yeah, they don't really look like spiders.
Yeah, they look like giant ticks. Like that one episode of TMNT, 2003, there's like that episode like giant ticks. They look like that.
Now, in episode 23, the thing that I have written here, and all caps here, right,
Mhm.
is that
My mom knows about
Aunt May calls Peter.
how much you think I should tell her?
Yes. PvP.
And also, Aunt May has spider powers. So, all of y'all who wanted to see a grown-ass woman,
I worry if I'm too
and
open.
you guys have those weird fantasies now.
What the fuck are you talking about?
There are people that have drawn Aunt May in a Spider-Woman costume.
Well, congratulations, you almost got your wish. She became a spider monster.
Yeah, you almost got your...
Yeah. By the way, I just want to say, before in episode 22, people are dicks with the spider powers. Like, they don't even do anything as soon as they get their spider powers.
I would use it
I
to help people.
Yeah, really, they're just giant dickholes. I want, it's super stupid. Like, I guess New Yorkers are. If we lose subscribers, I'm gonna say it's all the New Yorkers. But are New Yorkers always that trashy?
You can't say that.
Tell me in the comments if you think New Yorkers are trash people. Let me know.
We love all of you, but I mean,
New York.
Be honest. That's something that y'all would do.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's episode 23 is basically like a giant monster invasion where everyone turns into spider monsters except for Peter, Harry, and Peter, Harry, Miles, and Anya.
Yeah.
So they have a big plot about trying to have a big thing about trying to stop everything. Let's see. I mean, Harry and Peter have some good moments in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackal becomes the Spider King.
I think the best thing about this show is probably the dynamic between Peter and Harry.
Yeah, like we didn't really talk about it much for many episodes, but there's a lot of good moments between the two of them.
Harry is actually a good friend, whereas in every other interpretation, he's literally just a terrible friend.
Yeah, so you kind of get the idea that they actually would be real friends in real life.
Right. Now, episode...
This is when everything starts to shitter.
Yeah, so the first thing that I have written here was when they talked about Peter giving blood. I thought of the amazing Spider-Man 2.
Peter, give me your blood.
And
so Miles is still pretty good in this episode, and Harry's still angry about the whole Horizon stuff.
Yeah,
no offense, but everyone on New York City is a spider monster, and you're still on the Horizon shit.
Yeah, this is when Harry kind of starts to be out of whack.
Mm-hmm. And Doc Ock, even though he's he's doing his own thing now, he's surprisingly absent now.
Yeah, really, where is he at?
Yeah. Also, the fact that because of the whole Spider Monster thing, what happened to Black Widow? Did she actually become a Spider Monster on her own time or something like that?
And also, what would the Avengers have done to stop it?
If Jackal theoretically was able to beat all the Spider-Man and take over, what would happen next? Would the Avengers just come in and stop him, right?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they could. Let's see. I said, oh, thank goodness the world's normal. And at the very end of the episode, Oz Academy gets blown up. So at the end of the day, we all know who the Superior School is.
Episode 25.
We're so close to being done.
We get Spider-Man Mind Control, baby!
Yes. So basically, the whole plot is that Otto Octavius trying to wear down Spider-Man in order for him to become the last member of Sinister Five, becoming the Sinister Six. Really, that's how they put the final team together. It's the final team, by the way, is let's see, it is Rhino, Doc Ock, Vulture,
Crimson Dynamo.
No, not Crimson Dynamo. It's Spider Slayer,
right, sorry.
and one last guy. I forget his name. Iron Spider.
Yeah.
And Iron Spider. And Spider-Man. That's the Sinister Six, everybody.
Spider-Man is part of the Sinister Six.
Which is really? And by the way, by sheer force of will, Spider-Man breaks out of it because that's when you bring their first introduction to the Hobgoblin the Hobgoblin, with Harry Osborn being the Hobgoblin, which is pretty fun.
I'm not mind actually.
I think the Norman trying to explain it is stupid. He goes on a spiel saying when the darkness rises, the world needs a Hobgoblin to take over. The Norman, the Osborn legacy has always had the Hobgoblin. You're that Hobgoblin, Harry. Become the Hobgoblin.
He sounds like Kansas.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you want to say about this episode?
The fact that like this like the only like because like the last episode of the show is mainly about Harry and Norman. Because of that, this is like the last like time Audrey really shows up. Like he gets taken out in the first like 10 minutes of the next episode.
Yeah.
So they like build him up at the last as like the big final fight, and then he literally gets taken out.
Yeah. All right. We are now on
The finale.
episode.
I actually forgot to write any notes down. Oh, we're at the last 5 minutes too.
Yeah.
Wow, we've been going for a while.
Yeah. Well, I think what I had to say was that I like the Hobgoblin Spider-Man team. Peter basically won the loser award. There's a statue of Max. There's also a Spidey statue, and it turned out that Norman was also the Hobgoblin.
So basically, the whole idea is that he wanted to kill Spider-Man using the Hobgoblin and have Harry pretend to be the Hobgoblin and take over.
Right.
Which is like the weirdest plot ever. But I mean, it's kind of interesting for a finale. And like the finale is basically just Harry choosing between saving Spider-Man or saving Norman.
So I guess now we'll just get into the final thoughts.
Yeah.
What are your final thoughts?
I think the show is good. It's a perfectly average, mediocre 6 out of 10 show. I think my final thought is that I feel like if the show had the animation style of Ultimate Spider-Man, but had the writing of this show, it would be the best. It would be the best of both worlds. Not as spectacular, but it'll still be pretty good.
I think that based off what Liam's told me about the Ultimate show, this is so much. It sounds like it's like miles ahead. Miles. It sounds like it's miles ahead, and I genuinely. There were moments that I liked. I mean, it started out slow, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got invested in the whole, like, just Harry finding out if Peter was actually Spider-Man.
And her whole dynamic. Which it's a good dynamic. I think it works.
That actually was, like, what had me hooked.
Yeah, I think everything else is just kind of meh. And season 2, I hear, is a little bit better in some ways, but a little bit worse in some ways. And I mean, Slide shows up, so who knows?
Well, we might have to make a couple of slide jokes.
Yep. So remember, if this video gets 100 views or 10 likes, we will make a part 2.
Yes, and make sure to feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share, or even if you want to, it still helps in the algorithm. Dislike.
We need views.
So yeah, I mean, thank you all for watching, and we will be talking to y'all soon. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. Oh wait, sorry. There's just one thing that I want to do here. This will show you what my final thoughts are on the show.
It does super well at the very beginning, it does super well, but at the end of the day, it flubs it up. Oh, you didn't get the fall down.
Peace out, y'all.
See ya.